Welcome students to today's writing lesson, Letter to a Leader Part 4. This is rough draft part 1. We're going to begin writing our rough drafts. And we're going to do this in a couple steps so that it's not too much work to do in one day. So today we're going to begin writing our letters. When you begin your letter, you're going to start out with a greeting, what is sometimes called a salutation. This is usually something like dear so-and-so. Depends who you're writing to. This would be your audience that would go here. So in our last writing lesson last week, you defined who is the audience, who am I writing to? Am I writing to an organization, an individual, a company, my fellow students? Who are you writing to? Dear so-and-so. Notice a couple things. After your salutation, dear, it could be hello, it could be, usually it's dear in a letter. There's a comma right after, and then the person's name. Dear, comma, then the person's name. When we take a look at our mentor text here, our example letter, we see here it says, Dear Some Dog Staff, comma. Then immediately after that, there's a full space, and then the next part of the writing. So, Dear Some Dog Staff, there should be a comma after the dear here, and then another comma after that. So there should be another comma right here as well. Then a full space here, and then the beginning of the letter. So we see that here in our example letter. All right, number 2, next up, is an introduction to your topic. Be sure to be courteous. Use courtesy. That means being polite and respectful. My name is blank. I go to a public school in St. Paul, Minnesota called J.J. Hill Montessori. I'm writing because I'm concerned about, or I'm concerned that, or I'm concerned because blank. This is where your issue or your topic goes. You can use this. It's always easier to have a prompt or something to start with than it is to stare at a blank page. So if you're not sure how to start your letter, you can use this. But if you'd like it, if you want to create your own introduction to your topic, please feel free to do that. Of course, our goal is for you to sound like you. But if you're not sure where to start, you can use this prompt. Now, this top prompt here is if you are disagreeing or hoping to change something. The second prompt is if there's something that you support that you would like to show your support for. So it depends if you disagree with something or concerned up here, or if you agree with something and support it, then you use this prompt down here. I'm really impressed with, or really encouraged by, or really excited about what? And then I believe that blank. So tell people, in this case, the second example, you would be telling people what you believe and how it is that you agree with something somebody is doing. That's if you agree with them. Most of you are writing about this first topic here. All right, so in our example letter here, it says, My name is Anna Nowatzki. I go to a public school in St. Paul, Minnesota called J.J. Hill Montessori. I love your website and your games. They are great. Fun source of learning and practicing math. There's that courtesy. So right away, Anna says something polite. What is something polite that you can say, even if it's someone you disagree with? If your goal is to change their mind, the best way for them to keep an open mind about your suggestion is for them to feel like you are already on their side but are simply trying to change their mind. Our school is a peaceful community where kids from every background come to learn. While Some Dog does feature avatar boys and girls that seem to come from different races and cultures, I've noticed that, correct me if I'm wrong, there aren't any kids wearing hijabs. So there's the problem, there's the concern. So if we go back one step here, it says, I'm concerned about blank. That's the concern. Next up is an introduction to your topic. So you're going to tell people about this person, about the topic. So if you're going to change their mind, what do they need to know that will change their mind? So these would be your facts. You've collected some facts already. You're going to include your facts here. This issue is important because blank. So these are your facts that will persuade someone that they need to do something differently. In our letter example, it says, I think it's important for everyone to see themselves in movies, books, and, believe it or not, video games too. There are a couple reasons why I believe this is true. Then she goes on to list some facts. Video games are a big part of our culture. She uses some numbers here, some statistics, some data, some information. Did you find any information about your topic? If you don't have any numbers, maybe you just found some strong reasons that you really believe what you believe. Number 4 is a call to action, what you believe should be done. So, given that there's a problem out there, what should we change? I'm writing to ask you to consider blank. What would you like them to do? Think of strong verbs, actions like change or reform or add or remove. What is an action that you are hoping they will take? Anna says, I'm writing to ask you to consider putting a few hijabs in the clothing section, and maybe even some fancy ones you can buy in the store. Would that be possible? I bet a lot of people would be happy if you did. So her verb here is putting. She's adding them to add or include something in this game that doesn't already exist. What action do you want your person to take that you're writing to? What action would you like them to take? And number 5 is a sign off or closing at the end. Sincerely, and a comma, and your name. Sincerely, and a comma, and then your name. That part's pretty easy. How do you end a letter? Well, there's the simplest ones. You can just say sincerely or regards or yours truly or yours sincerely. If it's someone that you already know, you might say something a bit more personal like best regards or cordially or yours respectfully. And avoid things that are too informal like cheers or love or take care or XOXO. That's not formal. These are formal letters, and you will want to use a more formal ending at the end. All right, so that's it for writing your rough draft. We'll focus on the final draft later in the week, but for now, just use the prompts that we are providing and give it your best shot. Good luck with your work. We can't wait to see what you do.